wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and good evening to all our listeners and viewers out there. This is Salaamedia, your humanitarian journalism outlet. This is Local Matters with myself, Ahmed Kaji. I will be with you for the next 2 hours between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Central African time. We will be discussing everything local elections every Tuesday evening between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. right here between today, the 4th of August, right through until the November elections, local government elections, with us wrapping up everything once the election results have been finalized, and we will get an idea of exactly what our local government elections and what our local municipalities will be looking like. I really thank you for your time and for you joining us. I'm sure we'll be having exciting interviews, exciting insights, and everything in between. We will be speaking to mayoral candidates, civil organizations, councillor hopefuls, and anyone else who is important for us to ensure that in some way or form we will be getting an insight into local government elections. And from there on in, obviously being able to then work out who we could vote for, who we should vote for, and make an informed decision come the November elections as well. This is Local Matters with myself, Ahmed Kaji. We have a packed show over the next 2 hours. I'll be taking you through that lineup in just a few moments, but please, we would love your engagement over the next 2 hours. Our studio line is 011 680 0355. That's 011 680 0355. We are working in a fourth industrial revolution live, so the WhatsApp line has been a norm for broadcasters across the globe as well. And please, we would love your engagement over here on our WhatsApp line. The number over there is 061 766 0355. That's +2 761 766 0355. Our Twitter handle, or well, X as it's currently known, is at Salaamedia. That's SALAAMEDIA. The hashtag for this show is #Local Matters. I'm really looking forward to all of your engagement. You can get in touch with me directly at Ahmed Kaji on X is the best way for you to get in touch with me. I'd love to get an idea of what your thoughts are, what your engagements are, and any questions that you may have for some of our guests that will be on our show this evening. We are live streaming as well out on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook channel. We are live streaming on our website as well. Over on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Salaamedia. Our online streaming, you can just head over to salaamedia.com and follow the live stream prompts on there as well. Coming up for the show, we will be speaking to our political reporter from Salaamedia, Zahid Jadwat. He'll be joining us in just a few moments' time, taking us through some of the big stories which have been taking place over the last week. Then, with the results, with the voter registration having finalized, the in-person part of that being finalized this past week, we will be speaking to the IEC, the general manager for the electoral matters at the IEC, with Mr. James Apane. He'll be joining us just after 7:15. We'll then be having the conversation around water has been massive around the city of Joburg and probably around the rest of the country. We'll be speaking to an environmental justice activist, Dr. Ferial Adam. You would have seen her across the board at different organizations, at different panel discussions. She will be giving us some insight into exactly what the water situation is looking like in the country at the moment. In terms of what's going on in and around communities who are making a difference, we will be speaking to Sabir Manju from the Greenside Residents Association, based around Emerentia as well. So we'll be speaking to them to just find out exactly the work that they are doing to ensure that local governance is continuing. We'll then have our feel-good story with Murray Ingram all the way down in Cape Town, helping vulnerable pupils, vulnerable youth in their communities. And then one of our panel discussions heading through the big topic for today will be our 8:30 to 9 p.m. interview with the Build One South Africa mayoral candidate for the city of Johannesburg. That's Nobuntu Lindumisa Hlazo Webster. We're very excited to see exactly what that conversation will be looking like. If you have any questions for Build One South Africa, please send them through on those platforms which I had mentioned. And we'd be very excited to share some of your questions with her and have your question answered. This is your municipality, the political parties that owe you the explanation. So at the end of the day, we would love to ask your questions that you have sent through those platforms I have mentioned. I'll be giving you those details throughout the evening as well. As I mentioned just a few moments ago, we will be opening the show now with Zahid Jadwat, our political reporter for Salaamedia. He'll just be taking us through some of the big stories which has taken place over the last week, and we can perhaps take our conversation from there, heading into the IEC conversation thereafter. Zahid, I believe you are with us on the line. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening. Thanks for your time this evening.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and it is a pleasure to join you on what is the inaugural broadcast of this Local Matters show, one of the special programs here on Salaamedia in the build-up to the municipal.
Jazakallah for that, Zahid. So it's been an interesting week. There's been campaigning taking place. Voter registration, at least in-person voter registration, has wrapped up. There's been commissions of inquiries still taking place. Perhaps you can just take me through some of the highlights of the week that you've had over the last week, and perhaps over yesterday and a bit a part of today.
Right, so we'll begin with the most recent developments, and that is the IEC oversaw a final voter registration weekend that took place over the weekend at various voting stations across the country. And this is obviously part of efforts to get eligible citizens on the voters' roll ahead of the municipal elections. President Cyril Ramaphosa, of course, announced that those would take place on Wednesday, the 4th of November. So just over 2 million people have been registered since 2024, which was when we last went to elections. Of course, those were national and provincial elections. There's a bit of a difference between those and the municipal elections, but it's encouraging to see that over 2 million people have been registered. Those who didn't make it to their voting stations, they might be wondering if there's an opportunity to register. Well, yes, of course there is. They may do so online. The window will close when the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister, Vilinkosini Shlabisa, officially proclaims the date, and we're told that that will take place on Friday. So this means no new registrations can be processed from then onwards, but until then, of course, those who have not yet registered are able to do so.
I mean, the big part of what we are expecting with regards to these local government elections is political parties would have been wrapping up their campaigns heading into this weekend. Maybe what are some of the big things that you had seen over the past week, and what do you think is the big political landscape that we are seeing, where we are right now heading into the next few months?
Yes, of course. So just to set the stage before we continue with the discussion, well, we're looking at Johannesburg as an example. I think that's really going to be the central stage in this drama as it unfolds towards the elections, because Johannesburg really is that embodiment of everything service delivery related, everything that has gone wrong, if we could say, with the service delivery in the country. It has now caught up with Johannesburg, this behemoth of a city, now crumbling right before our eyes. So, of course, what happens here is quite important for the rest of the country. It does tell us about some of the sentiment in the urban areas. It is obviously the most populous region in South Africa. And if we're looking in Johannesburg, the key political actors, of course, we have the African National Congress, we have the Democratic Alliance, the Economic Freedom Fighters, Patriotic Alliance, Action SA, and various other minority parties, which I'm sure you'll be discussing all things elections with their candidates in the coming weeks and months ahead of us. And obviously, we found out recently that there are now more than 600 political parties that are registered with the IEC, which could potentially be a very long ballot sheet when you actually get to the voting booth. So in recent weeks, what we've seen now is these political parties positioning themselves as they prepare to contest the elections, and we're seeing them unveil their various candidates in recent weeks. Of course, Helen Zille was the first of the Democratic Alliance being unveiled last year, in fact. But then we also then saw Herman Mashaba's name coming forward. He'll be the mayoral candidate for Action SA. Then as far as the Economic Freedom Fighters are concerned, they recently unveiled Dr. Tlaleng Mofokeng, quite high stature with that name, coming up as the candidate for the EFF. The Patriotic Alliance has put forward Kenny Kunene, who's the deputy president of that party. But interestingly, he's also part of the coalition government that's in effect here in Johannesburg at the moment. Then from as far as the Inkatha Freedom Party is concerned, Mlungisi Mabaso, he's also going to be the candidate there for Rise Mzansi Lukhona Mnguni. People may recognize him as a political analyst, but he's now a male candidate. And then the candidate you'll be speaking to later on in the show, Nobuntu Hlazo Webster, deputy leader of BOSA. And I think with regards to BOSA, what's interesting at the moment, and Action SA as well, one of BOSA's members has actually crossed the floor and moved over to Action SA, and there seems to be quite a lot of noise about that. Allegations of Action SA actually paying Ayanda Alipane to move over to BOSA. So I think in the coming months we'll really see a lot more of this happening as political parties jostle for a prime spot in the municipal elections, and then obviously aiming for the mayoral chain in various cities, Johannesburg not being just one of them. And yeah, so those are the developments as they've unfolded so far, and of course a lot more to come in the months ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure we are going to be very interested to see what will be taking place over the next few months. It's going to be interesting seeing the campaigns taking place, even though physical in-person registrations for voting has been wrapped up. There will be some online registrations still being open until the end of this week. Zahid, thanks very much, and Jazakallah khair for your time. We will be touching base with you next week as well, probably to be just taking us through what other situations and what the scene is with regards to the local government elections. But thanks very much for your time. It is greatly appreciated. It is just gone past 13 minutes past 7 p.m. Central African time. We are going to go for a short break. And once we are back, we will be speaking to the General Manager for Electoral Matters at the Independent Electoral Commission, the IEC. They're in charge of maintaining and ensuring that everything goes smoothly with regards to the elections. We'll be speaking to Mr. James Apane in just a few moments. Please stay tuned here to Salaamedia.
Across Sudan, starvation is tightening its grip. With rising food prices and widespread malnutrition, 8.7 million people are now facing...
James on. Is James on? He tried calling me during the interview. That's why my phone went off. I can't hear you.
Time.
Sorry, somebody was calling me. James was calling. Can you hear me?
79.
Okay.
Was the number 6979?
The phone number.
Yeah. Is James on the line?
No, yeah, I was just, it's one line. Yeah.
Okay, he's ready. We can test with him.
Yeah.
Okay, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You'll let me know how long we're going in.
Okay. All right, cool.
Okay, perfect. How long until our ad wraps?